house with mama is living good. Said the feds took it all, he right back in the hood. I see you try to play me, you gave us crack in the 80s. Made us support our babies and make the whores out of our ladies. Yo, you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than cars will never amaze me. I see niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the clouds, so you don't faze me.
I guarantee you won't regret it. Remember I said it.
No, you could dead.
What you say? I can't win.
No, devil nice try, so until he did it.
I ain't at the die to meet the death. And you still landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. And we see the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high with the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't at the die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious. But we been getting fucked up to the side like the mistress. Police patrol a lot because prison became a business. The murder on the phone and start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives mattered when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropped a bomb saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the Boston bomber. But when we ride, they sent the military in armor. When we fight oppression, then our people die harder. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to set it the score, but it's not a score. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights. Patting me down, got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I keep up my fight. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And your honor, why you gave our homeboy's life? I've been wondering, why you shot our homeboy twice? Pussy with a gun screaming after he got a knife. He came from my baby spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's tripe, I'm just giving visual like Skype. As Trayvon, Mike Brown, a top girl, and Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Orlando, Open, Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't at the die to meet the devil. And you still landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. And we see the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high with the devil. I look into the eyes of the devil. I ain't at the die to meet the devil. I ain't at the die to meet the devil. And you still landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. And we see the rise of the devil. I pray for the demise of the devil. Lord knows I despise the devil. I look into the eyes of the devil. So I pray to God every day.
Any man give his life for I.S.U.P.K, Christ, and for the brother that U.P.K down. It's my brother and my blood, and not everybody who feel for it necessary.
Take
Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth. Nigga, cool zone. She boss. I got two things around the women I brought. In the man, I'm being my life gonna need to die. Cause this life is one bad, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die, so you can listen with that love. Try to be case soldiers, any man try to cross the path. Make you regret what that really fall on his head. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Now I live my way, what? Now I live my way. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell us back up, I'm about to drop some heavy floor.
Yeah, Shalom, Israel. We are the I.S.U.P.K. It started out at 1 West, 125th Street in Harlem, New York. We're under Commander Gen.YAHANNA. We've been doing this since 1969, and we're going to continue to do it until our king, a black man by the name of I.S.U.P.K, returns, man, and gets us up out of here. So we're doing it here tonight at the headquarters in Florida, 1628 Avenue E in Riviera Beach. You can bring your questions. Tonight we're going to get into I want to go into a little bit of this, our oppressor, man, our oppressor going into slavery, our oppressor falling, but what it takes for us to do it, man, and that is us coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man, which is like paramount. It's the most important thing, you understand, for us. You know what I mean? We can keep marching, we can keep singing and playing tambourines and, you know, wearing our finest hats or what have you, but at the end of the day, the Most High is punishing us for, you know what I'm saying, us going against those laws. And he's got a promise that if we come back, you understand, that he'll put us in rulership. He'll take our oppressor, the one that's in rulership now, and put him under our feet. And so that's the point of coming to class, point of changing your life. So we're going to get into some of that today. If y'all got any questions, I'll take those as well. I'm going to go ahead and type them in. Y'all can ask them in here as well. But I'm going to start off unless anybody has a question. Got a question? Come on with it.
Just want to make sure it's the right person.
Take your time. You got a question? Well.
You want me to listen?
Please.
I don't recall the verse, but it was, I want to say it was in Mark when Jesus declared all, or Yahushua declared all foods.
You said it, Mark?
I want to say it's Mark. We keep looking for
Okay.
the scripture.
I don't know the one where Yahushua says that. Yeah, you can get that. In the meantime, you can get the other one that everyone likes to quote. It's in Acts chapter 10. I'm thinking.
It might be that one.
Nah, that's not Yahushua in Acts though. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. It's the Most High. It's not Yahushua. So I'm not sure. The one you're talking about, we have to put. Okay, so give me the one in Acts chapter 10. It'll be when the sheet is let down after that. You know what I'm talking about?
Come, he had a dream.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's Acts 10. Pretty sure that's about it. What does it say right there when you read it?
I'm in the book of Acts. It says, rise, Peter, kill and eat.
Mm-hmm.
I started. Okay, starting verse 6. The book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 6. He lodged with one Simon and Tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants, and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. And when he declared all these things upon them, he sent them to Joppa on the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city. Peter went upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour.
Okay. So, background, in case anyone does not remember this or is not familiar with this scripture, this is talking about a brother who was in the army of the Greeks or the Romans, right? He was in their army. He was a man of rank in the army, right? He was a centurion, I believe is what it called him. You know what I'm saying? So this brother had rank. He had men that were under him. You understand? And he was serving in his oppressor's military, but he knew who he was, so he was, trying to please the Most High, trying to live right, trying to, like he wanted to know the truth, just like us. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter where we military, whatever job we worked before, what have you, we wanted to know the truth about what's right, what's wrong, about how to serve the Most High, whatnot. So this cat, he continually prays to the Most High, and the Most High hears him, sends an angel to let him know, like, look, I got a teacher for you, I got a school for you, you understand? And that's where Peter comes in. Peter is where he's going to go and learn from, but he don't know Peter, and Peter would never deal with him because this was a cat that's in Esau's military. This is a cat that does not show up at the Passover every year. You know what I'm saying? All of those things. So we considered them heathens. We considered them publicans, like a publican. We considered them like just somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So Peter would never deal with him. It's kind of like, for us, it's like somebody who left the truth. You understand? Like, it's like, I'm not going out to eat with him. Crazy for what? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going to happen when we're there. You know what I mean? So he's treating him like that. You know what I'm saying? So, not saying that I wouldn't. I'm just saying we could. We definitely, they come for Passover or whatever. You know what I mean? We would. But, so, he says the 2 or 3 cats that were under him to go and find Peter, right? So he's got to stay back, do his job as a soldier. He sends a few men under him to go and find Peter, let him know what an angel said, and so on and so forth. So that's where we are at the time that he sends those men to go and look for Peter. Peter is going up to pray. He's going up like he does every day at certain times of the day to go and pray up on the roof. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's happening right now, is what it says. At the same time that he sent them, Peter is now going to pray at that exact time, even though Peter doesn't know that Cornelius is sending them. He's going to pray at this time. Okay, keep going from there.
Acts chapter 10, verse 10. And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance and saw heaven open up. And saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners.
Right. It's so crazy because Christians love this. They love this so that they can eat all of their crab and pig or whatever it is they want to eat. But this is telling you straight up, Peter was going up there to pray. He was hungry as hell. While the food was being fixed, he fell into a trance, right? Which is like, I wouldn't even say like sleep. It's not a dream. It's not a dream. This is a trance. This is more like, I don't know. Like, hey, give me, matter of fact, look that up for me, Bashad. Trance. Give me that. See if it's in the Bible dictionary first. I'll check the other one. You know what I'm saying? But he fell into this trance while he's hungry. And there's this sheet let down from the fourth dimension, knit together at the four ends or whatever. All right, this is what Peter is seeing in this trance that he's in. All right, so is it in there? Wow. All right, trance, a half-conscious. This is in Oxford definitions from Oxford Languages on the Google machine. All right, dictionary. Trance, a half-conscious state characterized by an absence of response to external stimuli, typically as induced by hypnosis or entered by a medium. She put him into a light trance. Let's see. If there's any more on that. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Only type of electronic dance music, a state of abstraction, the kind of trance he went into whenever illness was discussed. So yeah, trance, don't think like sleep, like a dream. This is like a different state of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like that's, you know what I mean? Like they say hypnosis. I don't know what hypnosis is like, but if you could think of how, the Most High is able to do anything, he can put you into a trance to where, you're not noticing the things that are going on around you. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with you, and that's it. You know what I mean? That's what happened with Peter. So in this trance, Peter does what?
And he saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things.
Like all manner, all different kinds of four-footed beasts, creeping things. It was everything in there. It wasn't just food, it was the beast of the earth. Keep going.
And fowls of the air.
All times. Go ahead.
And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
Read that last part again.
Kill and eat.
And the other part about a voice came to him.
And there came a voice to him.
Whose voice?
Come, be the Most High.
Okay, I mean, you could assume that, I guess.
Right.
But this is just saying, like, I wouldn't do that just yet. This is saying that a voice came to him. Like, niggas have voices come to them all the time and say that, oh, the Lord told me to go and do this. Nigga, the Lord wasn't talking to you. Not the Lord talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hear a voice, I wouldn't assume that. It could be right, but okay, that was I was making a point. It's just a voice, not the voice of the Lord.
Right.
You understand? As it said, a voice came to him and told him to rise and eat it. Okay, keep going.
And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord.
Spell Lord.
Capital L-O-R-D.
Okay. Meaning what?
The Most High.
All capitals?
Okay, so like, sir, just, that would be, somebody over him.
Yeah, I don't want, right?
Okay.
Somebody, sir, is another way to say that, all right? Not so, sir. Keep going.
But Peter said, not so, sir. For I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleaned thee, that call not thou common?
Read that last part one time.
What God?
Right before that.
And the voice spake again unto him the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
All right, so the voice is telling him that what the Lord cleanses, don't call that common. Okay, keep going.
This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven.
All right, so let me ask you, what was done 3 times?
So I can read her.
You. Try to clean these joints off. Can't see them.
That they're trying to make him, well, whoever's speaking to him, are trying to make him eat whatever animal is there despite it being unclean.
Okay.
And he recognizes that it's unclean, so he's not willing to do so.
So what was done 3 times? Exactly, just make it clear for me.
That he was spoken to by this person to kill and eat an unclean animal.
Okay. So they just told him, the voice just told him to do it. Did he do it?
No, sir.
Nah, he didn't do it. That's why it happened 3 times. He told him, kept telling him like over and over again. He's like, nah, I'm not eating it. I've never done anything like that. And this happened 3 times. So he was told to do it by this voice and he denied it 3 times. Okay. Then the sheep was taken back up into heaven. So he never ate it. It was taken back away. Boom. All right. That's where we're at. All right. So I don't know. Is this the scripture you were talking about?
No, sir, but actually I read the scripture today. Officer Isupk is reading. The one that I read, I want to say was in Mark, and I can't find it.
We'll find it. Don't worry. If any one of y'all priests, if any one of y'all priests know where it is, go ahead and type that in for me. It's like this one. She says that Yahweh is saying it. In Mark, if y'all check that out for me, type it in. Go ahead, you can continue, Nishai.
Acts chapter 10, verse 16. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision would have had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house.
Right. So this vessel was taken back up. Peter did not do it. And now he's thinking about it. He's wondering. He's second guessing himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did I just do in this church? Was I really supposed to? The Lord calls clean, call not thou dirty. Was I supposed to eat that? No, I wasn't supposed to eat that. That is a damn dog. I'm not gonna eat that. Crazy? No way. I'm like a heathen. I think I was being tested. Maybe the Lord really. Nah, he ain't gonna eat that shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he's sitting here thinking about it. And at that time, the brothers or the people that Cornelius sent are now asking about Peter. Like, where's Peter? We heard about this Peter. Everybody know where Peter's at. Okay, keep going.
Come. The men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry of Simon's house and stood before the gate and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise, therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius.
Wait, no, Peter went down and ate some pork chops.
Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him.
This is what that whole vision trance was about. It was about these cats that he would normally never have gone with them. They're common, they are unclean, they are not men that I would ever deal with. You understand? But that's what the vision meant. It was so that, you know what I mean, now he knows it wasn't for you to go and eat all manner of animals. It was for you to go with these cats. Why? Because whoever sent them, which is Cornelius, a brother who wanted to come into the truth, that's what Christ died for. This is what Peter's job was to, you know, raise those brothers up to teach them that the Lord wanted to be taught. And so the way that it was going to happen was, you know, Cornelius sent some cats that he would never have dealt with. You know, Cornelius would have been somebody that Peter would never have dealt with, even though he's a brother, you know what I'm saying? Because he's in the world. He's, you know, a centurion, you know what I'm saying? Like you are, like, it's like me, you know, dealing with a cop, you know what I'm saying? Like I hate police, you know what I'm saying? Like I would never, you know what I'm saying? I would never sit down with them. I would never, you know what I'm saying? If it weren't for this scripture, if it weren't for the Most High Christ, if it weren't for GEN.YAHANNA, you know, letting me know like, yo, some of them might want to be taught, you know what I'm saying? If the Lord calls it, the Lord wants them to be clean, then that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? That's what you deal with. So that's what this is talking about. I don't know if the one you're talking about, this has nothing to do with eating, everything being clean. I think I know if they say grace, I want to say that's what it is. Like if you pray over it or something, like nothing to be refused, something like that. Somebody look up nothing to be refused in your Google machine. That'll probably get it for you.
Right, sir. Mm-hmm. I got something here in the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 19. I can start at 17, verse 17. And it reads as this, Mark chapter 7, verse 17. And when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciple asked him concerning the parable. And he said unto them, Are ye so without understanding also? Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entered into the man, it cannot defile him, because it entered not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the dark drought, purging all meats.
Yeah, they definitely use this one too.
Oh,
They love that one too. Like, it purges all meats, cleans all meats. That's not what it's talking about either, but yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if that's the one. Is that the one?
That's the closest one that I can find to. I haven't written down at home, unfortunately. I didn't bring my book with me, but that it was. I want to say it was around this chapter. So I'll continue to look as we go through the class.
Okay.
The water, sir.
All right. Yeah, no, that's in Timothy. What I was talking about is in 1 Timothy 4 and 4. But if you want me to break down the warnings, Israel, I can do that, or if you want to keep looking, then come back to the
Concert.
which one?
If you can just break that.
Yeah, no sweat. All right, so Mark 7 is talking about, you want to read one more time?
Okay, let's start further out. The book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 14. And when he had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, Hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand. There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him. But the things which come out of him, those are they that defile the man.
Right. Now this is like, you have to understand, like if you pull this scripture and you don't understand the context, like if you didn't read before this, like why is Christ saying this? Do you know?
Allah, so I don't remember right off the top.
Look up a book. What are they talking about? What are we talking about here? Is Christ eating a bowl of chitlins, and they like, oh, Christ, you eating chitlins, and he's like, I'm gonna cut y'all to death. No, man, nothing entering in. You can eat these chitlins. Have them, enjoy them, because anything going in is, it doesn't go into your heart, it goes into your belly. What is Christ eating? Why are they even talking about that?
Stark says, yeah, it's not talking about eating anything, it's talking about making
because it's just like that act, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has nothing to do, like, Peter did not eat all manner of animals, right? Like he said it right then, like he knows it's coming. Christ came, he knew, he walked with Christ when Christ was on the earth. You understand? Like nothing ever changed. Christ did not take not one jot or one tittle away from the law. Jot or tittle away from the law, right? Peter rolled with him, and he knew that, right? So when this vision comes in, he's like, I don't care if it's in a trance or not. If it's in a damn dream, I'm not eating that. You understand? Yeah. So that's the whole point. Like it never changed. You know what I'm saying? So-called followers of Christ, like Peter, did not eat, pork and crab and all manner of four-footed beasts. All right. So if you start at verse, did you start at 1?
No, so verse, I think.
Where did you start?
I started at 14, but look like verse 9 is. Give you a little bit.
Okay.
Or maybe start at 1 to get it on.
Yeah, well, I mean, 1 would help. Let's go from 1 to 5 or 6, and then we'll jump back down to 14. All right, just so we can understand why are they having these conversations.
Yes, sir. The book of Mark, chapter 7 and verse 1. Then came together unto him the Pharisees and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem. And when they saw some of his disciples eat bread with defiled, that is to say, with unwashed hands.
That's what they talking about, man. They saw these niggas eating bread, lawful bread, not Cuban bread. You understand? Not that bread that's been soaked in pork juices. You understand? Like this is good bread that they're eating, but the brothers didn't wash their hands first, which our laws were about cleanliness. It's why we're separate when we go to a funeral, or if we had sex, or if you are on your flower, or if you touch a dead animal. You understand? Like there are cleanliness laws. Like a lot of our laws are just about being clean. You know what I'm saying? Like don't come, you know what I'm saying? Don't come into the school when listen, if we had to protect you from something or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If there was a reason for you to come into school, I don't care if you're unclean or not, you're coming into school. You understand? Like that's not the spirit behind that law. The law was to make sure that we didn't spread COVID all around each other, or spread the flu, or spread some bloodborne disease all around each other, so that all of Israel don't die. That's what it's about, right? So they looking at the disciples who are eating their own food. They're not preparing nobody's food, but they're eating their own food, and they did not wash their hands. Those are the Pharisees and scribes want to argue about. They come to Christ like, oh, we saw y'all, I don't know You didn't burn the lamb after the Passover. I don't know, man. A ton of different things, man. Yes, I take that. Don't get me started on that lamb. That lamb be bought. I go on different days about that lamb. But yeah, okay. Here's the point, y'all. This is for everyone who's in the truth. This is the same thing that they try to do with Christ. You know what I'm saying? They always try to do that. People that don't want to follow the laws, people that want to do their own thing, that want to make up their own rules, you know what I'm saying? They'll come against the leaders, you know what I'm saying, and try to make them look as if they aren't fit to lead, you know what I'm saying? Which is understandable. I understand it. Of course you should. You know what I'm saying? What if this cat is not right? You know what I'm saying? Let's question him on it. So that's what the Pharisees and scribes are doing. Like, man, I always seen them. They ate that bread and they didn't even wash their hands. All right? Keep going from there.
Okay. And when they saw some of his disciples eat bread with defiled, that is to say, with unwashed hands, they found fault. For the Pharisees and all the Jews, except they wash their hands off, eat not.
Right, like the Pharisees and all the Jews. This is how we eat down. We're clean people. All right, we wash often. We're always washing our hands, man. We ain't had no COVID spreading around throughout Israel. We got it in. You understand? So now they're looking at them like, yo, the Pharisees would see you and be like, oh man, they are unclean. They are nasty. They like a, heathen. They do not serve God because of that. Keep going.
Holding the tradition of the elders.
Holding what?
The tradition.
The what?
The tradition.
This is what it is. It's a tradition, right? They hold the traditions of the elders, what their parents did, what their fathers before them did. Keep going.
And when they came from the market, except they wash, they eat not.
All right, that's just what they normally do. Keep going.
And many others things there be which they have received to hold, as the washing of cups and pots and brassen vessels and the table, and of tables. Then the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, why walk not thy disciples according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands?
Right. Like they're not saying, why don't your disciples follow the Most High?
Right.
Because they do that. But why don't they follow the traditions of our elders? What's wrong with them? They think they better than, I.U.C. They think they better than, our elders wear purple. Why y'all don't wear purple? Because that's not our tradition. We don't do that. Why don't y'all, I don't know, what do we do? They wear dreads. Why don't y'all wear dreads? We don't do that. That's not our tradition. It's not what we do. I'm a grown ass man. You understand? I'm fine. All right. So this whole thing, it says, when they come from the market, except they wash, they eat not, and many other things there be which they had received to hold. All right. There's a whole lot of other things that they hold on to, like those traditions. Like they received, they got it from when they was young, and they decide to hold on to it when they're old, when they get grown. Right. As the washings of cups and pots, brazen vessels, and of tables, right? Like you ain't even gonna sit down and eat unless you wash that table. How many sisters do you know? How many brothers do you know that are anal like that? Like, no, we gotta wash it down. Sit down, I'm gonna eat. That's just me. I'm dirty. I know. Don't care. Here's the point. Some of us had those mothers back in those days, back them grandmothers, big mamas and them. Like you couldn't go wash your hands, go wash up before dinner. Please. If I wash my hands before dinner, they are some kind of dirty. You get me? If I wash my hands before I eat, they are some kind of dirty. Like I know what I done touched. I know what my hands have been. I don't want to eat that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that on my food. You understand? Other than that, I'm going to the store, pulling open the door, pulling out the money, paying for it, and opening that bag of chips immediately. All that. No hand washing. Nothing like that. I don't get a can of soda and go home and have to detergent it and scrub it before I put my mouth on it. That bug has been sitting in the stove for 30 years. Like straight to the gut. It's going straight to my belly, y'all. What the hell I gotta wash for? Makes no sense. But it's no problem. That's what you want to do. It's no problem. It's your tradition. Knock yourself out. That's not the law of the Lord. That's the tradition of my fathers, my elders, the ones that were before me. That if I would choose to hold on to it, I can do that. All right? Keep going.
Yes, sir. Mark chapter 7, verse 6. And he answered and said unto them, well hath I.S.U.P.K prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, the people honor me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines and commandments of man.
Now listen, just for future reference, howbeit. I know how is usually like a question, like how, nigga? That's not what this is. Howbeit is like a statement. It's like, because of this, it's kind of like saying that. It's like, that's how howbeit is. You know what I'm saying? Like, howbeit is like, I guess we can look it up. But, okay, it's not a question. It's either saying like, where is it at? Verse 7. Howbeit in vain do they worship me. It's not a question.
He's saying, sir. So he's saying more like, this is how in vain, or
because of what you just read before. What was it before?
Okay, come on.
The people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Right. Like they're saying one thing, but they don't really serve me. They don't really love the Most High. Their heart is far from the Lord. Howbeit in vain they worship me, howbeit they worship me in vain, right? So, like, because of this, their worship of me is empty because their heart is far from me. They talk a good game, but they ain't really with me. You understand? So, howbeit is like just like saying, like, I wish you can look it up. Howbeit, it's probably the thing, but we'll keep going for now. All right. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Right. All right. So they're teaching what men say to be the law, to be what the Lord says, to be a doctrine that we should follow, that we should, continue and hold. And you know what I mean? You're teaching the doctrines of your mama. You understand? You're teaching the doctrines of your father and of your uncles and your aunties and your grandmama. Dog. That's who you're teaching. You're not teaching the Lord. Because, you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. You know what I mean? So their heart is far from the Lord. Their heart is with their elders. Their heart is with their fathers and their mothers. You know what I'm saying? Their grandmothers and grandfathers. That's where their heart is. Okay? Keep going.
Yes, sir. Verse 8. For laying aside the commandments of the power, ye hold the traditions of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such things ye do.
Right. The washing of cups and pots is the tradition of men, which they already stated. Why don't you do what our elders did? But you're not even talking about the commandments of the Most High. I think we don't eat everything. We eat this bread that ain't been soaked in pork. You know what I'm saying? I'm eating lawfully. Why do you have a problem if I'm eating my own food? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't wash my hands. I mean, why does that bother you, brother? You understand? I don't understand. You know what I mean? So, laying aside the commandment of the power, ye hold the tradition of men as the washing of pots. Like, you forget all about the law, but you sure hold on to them traditions. You sure hold on to throwing some salt over your shoulder if, I don't know. I don't even know what they do that for. Somebody sweep your feet? Somebody sweep your feet, you throw the salt over your shoulder. Okay, well, don't act like y'all don't know them old wives' tales and traditions. Oh Lord, here we go. The Hondurans did different things.
We had to put, my mother used to make me put lines in my purse to ward off evil energy.
See that? Tradition. That, I bet it's a line in her purse right now. I bet she held that one. I bet she got that one. I bet it's a line in her purse right now. All right, I ain't gonna make you check. I ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna put that on the guard. You know, the guard should check very well. Y'all check the lines every week. There's a line in there. It is not for seasoning or for no tea or nothing like that. She is warding off evil energy or bad energy. So that's exactly what we did always, man. We always held on to what our parents gave us, just because better safe than sorry. I better wash my hands. Wash these pots and these cups. Get them right. Christ is like, I know what it is. I keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. I'm good to go. You know what I mean? So go ahead, read from there. We got any more? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna drop from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going into telling them about how they, you know, they don't keep the laws. Okay, so we're gonna jump down to 14.
The book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 14. And when he had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand, there is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him.
Now, what is he talking about?
Sir. Hmm? Yeah. He's trying to let them know that, you know.
I mean, listen carefully. I'm asking a specific question right here.
Okay.
What is he talking about? You have to give me that first. Then if you want to give me an explanation, I will take it. What is he talking about?
The traditions that men keep.
Okay. You can go ahead and grab it. Anybody else got anything else? Does anybody know what he's talking about in that scripture, the one the officer just read? Hearken to me, every one of you, and understand there is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him. What is he talking about when he says that at the beginning of 15? There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him. I want something specific. You want some of this, sis?
No, sorry.
Okay. Oh, sure. I mean, you did ask the question, so I would not. Let me see. Ain't nobody gonna chime in on this joint either, so. All right. So the thing that it's talking about, nothing from without. Obviously, outside desire says like the way you treat your brother. Okay, no, okay. What I'm saying, maybe I'm not asking the question right. Where in the beginning of 15, where it says, there is nothing from without a man. What is the nothing? What is he talking about? There is nothing from without a man that can defile him. What is he talking about?
So, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Is he talking about like, how can I put this? Like, something somebody tell.
Make it simple as hell. Make it simple as it, so I can understand it.
It's just like something somebody tell you, like let's say somebody, you know, tell you something, and it, you know what I mean, like you hear what they're saying, but if you don't do it, just like when Peter, he saw the vision, he heard the voice, but he didn't do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a lot simpler.
Okay.
It's a lot. This nigga put saliva. Salvia. Oh, saliva. Oh, okay. Typo, no problem, brother. I got you. Put saliva on this joint. Salakia is say your actions. Okay, not almost, not quite. Okay, your actions don't go into you. What goes into you? What is it talking about? What have we been talking? That's why I made y'all go back to 1, so that you can get it. Right? That's the only reason I'm asking, because you just read it. You already know what it is. That's the only reason I asked right there. Nobody, anybody, it's not your actions.
So, I mean, it's like if I made that, it would be something somebody tell you to do, or
Brothers is making it real simple on here, man. The Troopers is on it. Food, drink. Yeah, if you say food and drink, you have to be very specific. But let me explain it to you. This is why I made you read it, because what Christ is saying. Why are they having this conversation? I made you go back. Why are they having this conversation?
Because like they are charging Christ and his men for doing something that doesn't go against the law, statutes, and commandments. It goes against traditions.
Why? Okay. Yeah.
Because they're just trying to.
What thing specifically?
Washing of the hands.
Okay.
The traditions of our forefathers, being clean.
And what was Christ's response?
His response was that they keep the laws of man and not the laws of the Most High.
Truth. And the last thing we just read that he said, 15.
There's nothing from without that entereth into can defile him. Mm-hmm. But the things which come out of him, those are that.
You ain't even gotta go that far yet, though. Yeah, I mean, if that's gonna help you, then use it. But you ain't even gotta go that far. They are addressing one thing. Christ is coming back. He's rebutting, right? His rebuttal is, what is it?
His rebuttal is,
verse 15.
There is nothing from without a man that entered into him can defile him.
Stop there. Now, what is the thing that he's talking about? He's saying that nothing can go into a man and defile him, right?
Nothing slacking, nothing that is lawful, nothing that the Most High gave you can enter into you that can defile you.
Right. So he's saying some sort off your hands won't make you clean. That's it. That's more it. I was gonna make it real simple and just say dirt.
Dirty.
Yeah, like they just saying about washing your hands, right? So basically what Christ is saying is that the things that are out here they are not going to defile you. Like you can't eat pork. That will defile you. That's going against the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You said it absolutely right. Like, you can't eat anything that, the Most High doesn't want you to eat. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just say any food or drink. But all Christ is saying is these things that you're worried about are not the things that are going to defile you. Niggas didn't eat pork. They didn't eat anything unlawful anyway. What they were talking about was dirt. That's it. Nobody was trying to eat no lobster. Nobody tried to eat a pork chop sandwich, period. That was just like unheard of. It's not even close to food. It's like you wouldn't eat, a hamster or a rat. You know what I'm saying? But to some people, that's food. To us, that wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be considered. You know what I'm saying? But the things that are food to me, the things that are considered to be food, I wouldn't think twice because I didn't wash my hands if I put this chip in my mouth or if I ate this, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't think twice about it. That's not going to defile me. I'm not worried about that. But eating a rat with washed hands?
Yeah.
Some of this damn rat, nigga, that's disgusting. I would never do that, right? So, like, he's just saying that dirt is not going to defile you. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things that you're worried about that are going to make you unclean, they're not what makes you unclean. The things that the Most High says makes you unclean, right? So nothing that doesn't go against the Most High can defile you. Doesn't matter. Dirt, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna make you unclean. But what? Finish the rest of 15.
But the things which come out of him, those are they that defile man.
Break it down.
Like the things, like the Pharisees and scribes were saying, you know, you can, you know what I mean, like trying to hold to the traditions of men. Like anything that come out of your mouth or your, you know what I mean, of your mouth saying something against the Most High, that can defile man. Like if I tell somebody to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, that can defile man.
Okay. Yeah, it would defile you.
Right.
Okay. Right. Also, like you're saying, what's going in, if my hands are dirty, that's not what's going to defile me.
Right.
Right? But if I tell a lie on the Most High, or if I hurt another brother or sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's defiling me. You know what I'm saying? If I call him fool without call my brother a fool without a cause, you know what I'm saying? That goes against the Most High. That's against his commandments.
Right.
F your traditions and all that other stuff. Like, you want to serve the Most High and be clean by doing what he says to do and what not to do. That's all Christ is saying. He's saying what comes out of you, you know what I'm saying? What you saying, you know what I mean? The things that they said defiled them. It caused the death penalty for Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? The things that they did, they came against men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They came against his disciples, you know what I'm saying, who were out here hazarding their lives to save blacks, you know, Hispanics and Native Indians. So, you know what I mean? Like, watch what you say more than, you know, the dirt that's on your hands, man. You ain't got to worry about the dirt. Is the food you eating lawful?
Right.
Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Carry on. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, that's you. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it. Somebody that didn't have a problem with my unwashed hands, and it's like, nah, just fix me a plate, please. Yeah, I got you, hear me? All that, picking up the meat and all that, just slapping it on. No problem. You ain't got a problem. If it bothers you, I will not offend you. Because that would I don't want to offend you. I'd rather not offend you. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the whole thing about this. This has nothing to do with you being able to eat everything you want to eat. All about dirt. God made dirt. Wash your hands if you, I know I should have used that, right? Wash your hands if you want to, though. You want to, you know what I mean? Like, end of the day, now I think it was supposed to go down to 16, right? Did we get that?
Law, sir. Law. 16, Mark chapter 7, verse 16. If any man having ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable. And he said unto them, are ye so without understanding also?
Are you just like the Pharisees and Sadducees? Y'all supposed to be my niggas, man. Y'all supposed to roll with me. Y'all don't know yet? It's cool. That's what we got class for. You know what I'm saying? Ask all the questions in the world. That's what the disciples did. Y'all don't ask no questions. Y'all don't never be having no questions. Because y'all want to act like the Pharisees and Sadducees, like y'all know everything, man. Y'all better ask questions, man. Y'all better be like these brothers, man. These brothers ask a million questions. They was always asking Christ, like, yo, I ain't want to bring this up early. That shit you said just a minute ago, man, I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Go. Slide. Are ye so without understanding also? Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him, because it entereth not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the drought, purging all meats.
So if your hands is dirty, when you put that meat in your mouth, it's going out in the drought. It's going to be cleansed. It's going to be purged. It's not saying that. You know what I'm saying? And then this is the other thing too, that people would even call rat like meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I would call that a carcass. Like when you go to the store to buy steaks, do you call it a carcass? No, you don't call it a carcass. It's not a carcass. That's meat. It's delicious.
If
you saw a dead dog, right, you're like, it was a carcass in the stuff. It's disgusting. It's not the same thing. It's not meat. It's not what we eat. It's just like, damn, somebody bury it, man. Say a few words. Nobody says words about the cow. Nobody says nothing about the chicken that you eat every day. Nobody says nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? The dog, it's a carcass. It's like a human being. It's something you wouldn't eat. A human is not meat. If you saw a dead man in you know what I'm saying, it's not meat. You'd be like, look at that meat. How much is that? Meat. It's not meat. That is a body. It's a carcass. It's a cadaver. My thesaurus has run out. I don't know anything else. That's what it is. So these meats that you can eat. You know what I'm saying? However, whatever it was, you know, cooked on, you know, I be having a problem. I have this mind thing like the Pharisees. Like the grill got to be cleaned off real good. I don't want none of that old meat from the grill. What do they call it? I don't want none of that on the joint. Gotta wash it off good. But hey, you don't mind it, it's just dirt. If you don't mind it, you go ahead and make yours with it, man. It's probably why yours is better than mine. But you know what I'm saying? Like, look, clean it, please. You know what I'm saying? You're like, nah, it's clean, man. The fire gonna burn. I had an uncle who used to do that. He would just reuse the grill. Like, he's like, the fire gonna burn that off. Just let the fire burn for a minute, and all whatever was on there, that was sterilization. That was what it was. It was the bomb. It was good. So we kept it going. So if that's it, we'll move on. Was that it? Okay. All right. You ain't find the other one yet. You ain't gonna find it. No, you make stuff up. All right. So what we got? It's 8 o'clock. Nobody else has any other questions? I forgot the damn tiger. Let's see. Oh yeah. I do now remember. So if everyone wants to get Ecclesiastes, this is where I started at. Ecclesiastes chapter, I believe it's 13 or 12. What's the last book in Ecclesiastes? You know what? What's the last book in Ecclesiastes? Last chapter, like
chapter 12.
Yeah, so give me that. You know what Ecclesiastes is? Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah. Okay, it's Ecclesiastes.
So you want chapter 12, verse 13?
Yeah.
Come. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13.
You might want to start at, I don't know, let me get there 1 second. You might want to start at 12. And let's hear the conclusion.
Come.
Okay, back.
Come. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 12. And further, by this, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
Right. This is Solomon, man. And Solomon was a man that loved wisdom, right? He loved knowledge. And he's explaining this like, look, be encouraged that, listen, if you wanted to study, you could do that forever and ever and a day. And you never know everything. You understand? So be admonished of making many books, there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Because, like I said, it'll never end. You will just go on and on forever. It's a weariness of the flesh. You'd be tired trying to study all the time. You're not going to be the smartest. You know what I mean? You're not going to know everything. You might be the smartest person on earth. You will never know everything. Somebody who's, they're going to know something that you don't know. All right? Keep going.
Verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
All right, so what are you saying? I shouldn't go to college for 80 years and just keep getting more degrees and keep doing this, that? Are you saying I shouldn't come up with a thesis every 5 years and, you know what I'm saying, just be the foremost authority on everything, that has any knowledge about it at all? You know what I'm saying? Here is the conclusion of the whole thing.
Oh, God. Fear God and keep his commandments.
That's it. This is the conclusion, man. Like, I've studied. Solomon was the wisest man on the earth. He knew. He's writing this down so that we know. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you can do this forever. It's a weariness of flesh. There will be no end of making books. You could write all the knowledge that you think there is in the world, and it still be some more books to be written. You know what I'm saying? Somebody would up your stuff decades down the line. You understand? So what I realized in all of my learning, in all of my studying, in all of my knowledge and wisdom is that what?
Fear God.
This is what you should do, man. You know what I'm saying? This is real wisdom. This is real knowledge. Fear the Most High. Go ahead.
And keep his commandments.
Mm-hmm.
For this is the whole duty of man.
You don't need to go to school, son. You don't need to have 1 million degrees. You don't. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's like it ain't nothing wrong washing your hands. That's just not a law. You can do it if you want to. It's not against the law to wash your hands. It's not against the law to get 1 million degrees. Go get it. Knock yourself out. But here's the whole duty of man. This, if you really want wisdom, you really want to know what you need to know, this is it right here. You can study physics. You can study, I don't know, what do they call it? I don't know.
Trigonometry.
Yeah, all of that. Take your pick. Go get whatever it is you want. Here is what the whole duty of man is. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments. That's all you have to do. You will be the wisest thing. Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna know everything. This can't get no wiser than that. There's no getting wiser than that. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments, because this is the whole duty of men. You know what I'm saying? This is what every man should do. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you go to college, son. I don't care. You go to college. Be a doctor. It'd be wonderful. It'd be great. Don't care about that though. This you have to do. Right? You have to do this. Right? Let's hit the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the power and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Keep going.
Oh God. For the power shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Right. In other words, we serve the Most High because he determines what's right. That's why I want to learn the law, statutes, and commandments, so that I can eat what's right. You understand? I can go to school for 50 years. And if I eat caviar because I've got, I don't know if that's lawful. That's caviar. I know it's eggs.
Yeah, I guess depending on what fish it came from.
I guess it would. But something that rich people eat, that they, lobster and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Pie.
Clams.
All the nastiness in the sea. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, if I got all the knowledge in the world, and these are the things I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Lord is going to bring all of that into judgment. He's going to determine, you know what I'm saying, whether you sit on top, whether you should be revered, or whether you should be, admired, or whatever the case may be, because a man of the Lord, a man who keeps the law, statutes, and commandments is going to rule this earth by the name of Yahweh. So that's the whole point. So our job as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is to get ourselves back to where we were supposed to be from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Following these laws, that being our wisdom. Forget, computer programming. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that if I don't know the laws. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't know the laws of the Most High, then I'm nothing. And there's a ton of scriptures like that. I know it's one. You know what I mean? That says almost exactly that. You know what I mean? Like if I do this and that and the third, but I have not, that's the one about charity. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you really nothing, brother. So, you know what I mean? What we want to do is come back to these laws, man, and let our oppressor be in our position, man. They never followed the laws of the Lord. They never cared about anybody but their own pockets. You understand? And the minute we get it right, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is gonna put us back in rulership and our oppressors under our feet, man. So I definitely want to get into, some of that. As far as, them being put into slavery, we got time, but I'm gonna start with ours first. So let's start with Baruch. Start with that one. That's always a good place to start. And then let me find my notes to get the other ones. But start me with like Baruch. I know it's 1 and 4, but I think it's one at the end of 3 as well.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 9. Hear, Israel, the commandments of life.
All right, hear what?
The commandments of life.
Listen, Israel, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, hear the commandments of life. You know what I'm saying? This is what Solomon is telling his son. Forget everything else, man. This is your life. This is your wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That's in Deuteronomy, in the sight of these nations. This is what you're going to need. Hear, O Israel, the commandments of life. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Give ear to understand wisdom. Mm-hmm. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land?
Listen. Nobody wanted to listen to Solomon. That's how it happened. Read that part again.
Come. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land?
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How the hell did it happen that you are in the land of people that hate you, that are able to kill you and get away with it, that put drugs in your community, that your daughters end up missing for months, and then they turn up with fingers gone and body parts and organs missing, you understand? And you can't do a goddamn thing about it. How did this happen? How did you end up in your enemy's land? You was the greatest people on the earth. You know, them comedic people, they love to say, we're kings and queens. Yeah, nigga, you don't know. You don't know the half of it. How did this happen? It's unthinkable in the Bible. It's unthinkable that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the niggas, the spicks, and the savages of this earth. To everybody. To goops who give you COVID and bat disease. You understand? To these pink toes that are the biggest homosexuals and murderers on the face of the earth. How did you end up under them? Keep going.
Yes, sir. How happened it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead?
Man, listen, we walk on dead bodies, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are defiled, man. We killing each other every single day, man. We selling each other poison. We are, you know what I'm saying, shoot each other in the streets. You know what I mean? I can talk about, our oppressor doing it, but goddamn, we do it every single day. Walk outside the school. Go outside the school. You know what I'm saying? I heard, you know what I'm saying, the brothers was talking about it out there in Chirac. Somebody got killed in the parking lot of the school. You understand? Like, it happens all around us. We can't even tell brothers and sisters the truth about who they are and what they should and shouldn't be doing without somebody trying to take us the hell up out of here. Somebody take somebody else up out of here. You understand? How did this happen to us? How in the world did this happen to our people, man? Like a great and a beautiful people, man. You know what I'm saying? A wise and understanding, intelligent people, man. How in the world did that happen to you? Like, it'll baffle you, bro. Like, our people are the smartest people on the earth. On the earth. I'm not being biased at all. Like, they have to hide it. They sweep that shit under the rug. And everywhere we are, you'll find out 185 years later, like, oh yeah, that was some slave that did that. You don't get no credit for it. So how did it happen to you? How did it happen that you just such a nothing now? Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Verse 11. That thou art counted with them that go down into the grave.
Nothing. Keep going.
Thou hast forsaken the foundation of wisdom.
That's how it happened. Read it again.
Come. Thou hast forsaken the foundation of wisdom.
That's what the Most High is saying through Solomon. You know what I'm saying? You have forsaken the foundation of wisdom. Like, where does it all come from? That's what Christ was telling those Pharisees in the scripture this sister pulled. You know what I'm saying? Or that you pulled. You know what I mean? Like, he's telling them, like, man, you lay aside the commandments of the power to keep the traditions of men. That's what we do. And now you on the bottom because of it. Now you in all hell because of it. You are counted with them that go down to the grave. Like, every nigga child that's born, you're dead already. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it when you're damn born. Your mother might not make it because they really don't care about her either when she's giving birth in that delivery. That's why black fathers, Hispanic and Native Indian fathers, that's why you gotta be in there. You gotta be in there to get them help. The hell are you doing? Hurry up. All day. Because they don't care about you. You are counted as them that go down to the grave. You understand? Keep going.
Yes, sir. Verse 13. For if thou hast walked in the way of the power, thou shouldst have dwelt in peace forever.
Read that one more time, Salah.
Come. For if thou hast walked in the way of the power, thou shouldst have dwelt in peace forever.
Listen, man, that's how it happened to you, man, because you gave up the foundation of wisdom. If you would have just kept that, you would live in peace forever. You would never be racially profiled. You would never have to pull the race card. You would never have to march and beg and plead and die for some stupidity that's going on because the people that rule over you are your enemies. That would never happen. The Lord would never allow your enemies to be over the top of you if you would have just held on to what made you, what made you strong, what made you a family, what made you united. You understand? We gave all of it up for filthy lucre. We gave it up for some filthy box. You gave it up for some filthy rod. You gave it up for some filthy fingers fixing your food. You're like, she didn't even wash her hands. It's disgusting. The point that we are trying to make is that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the people that the Lord chose to get these laws, and the only one that He gave them to. We gave it up, and now we're in our enemy's land. Now we're counted as dead men walking all the time. When our kids are born, they are dead. They have no shot. They have less of a chance to go to college. They have less of a chance to be successful. You know what I'm saying? They got a great chance to die. A great chance. play the lottery with that. Oh, that nigga gonna die before he's 15. Somebody put some money on that. He's going to jail. He will live in jail. Put money on it. Because that's what happened to us. Because we gave up the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. We gave it up for whatever the hell else, to get high, some whore, some Negro, whatever. Keep going.
Verse 14. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 14. Learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding.
Niggas don't know where it's at. But you gonna learn today if you in here. Learn where is wisdom. Where is your strength, black people? It's in here. It's in the truth. It's up under the Most High, Yahweh, man, and the men of the Lord up under commanding GEN.YAHANNA. That's where your strength lies, man. Your wisdom is in this book. It's in these laws, statutes, and commandments. You ain't gonna find it nowhere else. If you want to learn anything else, if you want to go to school, if you want to, I don't know, I don't give a damn. Learn this first. I should be able to ask you any question. I give y'all the opportunity every week to ask all the questions you want about any goddamn thing on the face of the planet so that we can save your lives. If you know everything good, we should be able to ask you some questions. Somebody should be able to ask you something. And if that's not the case, then you should be asking questions like the disciples. Otherwise, your kids will be those that are counted as them that go down to the grave. You will be the ones that are on the bottom, in the ghettos, in the prisons. You'll be them. Because we gave up the laws and you don't care about that. You don't really need to know that. Right. What I do need to know though is what is little baby? Whatever. Stupid. Niggas is dumb. Y'all know everything else. Everything. I gotta ask y'all about anything else. Anything else on the face of the planet, niggas know. If I ask you something in, alright. Let's just make sure it don't stay that way. You understand? Let's make sure it don't stay that way. Study to show thyself approved, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you show the Most High that I want to be. I don't look at this like this is okay. I don't look at the, because it didn't happen to my immediate family or it didn't happen to me that it didn't happen to me. When I see it happen to any one of these, my brothers or sisters, it's like it happened to me. Every brother or sister that's getting drugs sold to them, everybody that's got some venereal AIDS and documented, it's like it's happening to me. And that's why I have to study. That's why I have to make sure that I know everything, how to please the Most High and how not, to get him, against us. You know what I'm saying? That's what Christ was doing. That's what he was telling them. And nigga, nothing going into you is going to defile you. But what you saying, you're messing up, bro. You're messing up right now, man. Watch your mouth. You know what the hell you talking to, nigga? I'm paraphrasing Christ. Christ didn't say it like that. I'd have said it like that. I'd have been in counsel too, because niggas take me to counsel all the time. Okay. I want you to get this. This is my point. I want you to get this. I don't care how I do it. I don't care if this is the method. If I can provoke, give me that scripture real quick. If I can provoke them, what is that? Is it in Hebrews? It's what Paul was saying. Paul was saying that by any means I can provoke them to like jealousy, something like that. Like anything, nigga. If I can push a nigga this to be like, something's wrong with your war, nigga. I'm gonna keep finding out, nigga. Something's going on. Nigga. We'll find out. End of the day, I want you not to be in that position, man. What's going on with our people is unacceptable. You know where it's at? Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Somebody else will put it up. I think it's in Hebrews, though. It might be in Romans. Them that are my flesh, it sounds like it's in my head. Either way. Romans 11. Might be it. Yeah, that's the faith. It might seem like 10 though, more than 11, but that might be it. Like I'm just trying to make you want to go and get this more than you want to go get something else. I don't care what it takes. But what I gotta do, I gotta, that's it. Where you at?
Book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 14. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh.
Them who?
Which are my flesh.
If I could provoke anybody to emulation, anybody understand what that means?
Come. That's like, if I make sure he's saying like, if I can get you to be like me.
Absolutely.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? If I could make you be like me, you might think I'm a horrible person right now. I used to think that too about brothers over me. I ain't gonna call no names. I'm not calling no names. Not do them like that. Over a ton of respect. But they made me be like them because I had to find out that I was wrong. I thought I was right, and they were just horrible human beings. That's what I thought. Then I found out that I was the horrible human being, and they had the wisdom and the knowledge and that I needed. Bro, now I'm like them. You know what I'm saying? Now I get checked for being like them. It's hilarious.
Evolution.
Yeah, bro. I'd be like, dang, I'm just doing what you did. Yeah. I understand. But I might want to tone it down. I probably was a little too hard. I was probably a little too all right, well. Niggas is just soft to me, sir. So like, they just too soft now. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But if I can do what? Read it every time.
Romans chapter 11 and verse 14. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh.
My people, man. I love y'all, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It hurts me when I see what happens to our people. So if I can provoke to emulation them that are my flesh, my family, keep going.
It might save some of them. For if the casting away of them be the constant.
Where you at?
Verse 15.
Oh, reconciling.
Reconciling. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be? But life from the death. Right. It's like from the dead.
Right. So yeah, Paul's whole mission was to try and make brothers get into the truth like him, to change their life, to start keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, so that we can save all the other brothers that were off. You know what I'm saying? Like he was trying to, he was like, all of these other brothers, they got the opportunity now, calling themselves Romans and Ephesians. They've got the opportunity now to come into the truth, serve the Most High the way they're supposed to. They call themselves African Americans and Jamaicans and Haitians and Mexicans and Guatemalans. Listen, if I can provoke anybody to emulate me, like this, man, I've done my job, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing more that I can do, right? So drop that. We can go back to where we was at. I forgot what I was saying because I got on that point. But where we at?
Baruch chapter 3, verse 14. Come, verse 14.
Okay. I don't have it open. Go ahead.
Learn where is wisdom, where is strength, where is understanding, that thou mayest know also where is length of days in life, where is the light of the eyes, and peace, who hath found out her place.
Right. This is where you might think like Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say. Like, it's just like you can see where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like illuminated. The light of the eyes is like another way of saying wisdom. Like you have understanding. The light of the eyes. This is where everything that you want to know, the things that you want to see, this is where it is. It's contained in the law, statutes, and commandments. This is where it's at. You're gonna find it nowhere else. You want to know the meaning of life? We just read it in Ecclesiastes. The whole duty of man, that's the meaning of life is to keep the laws. That's what all you have to do. That's what you're here for. That's what you were created for out of the cosmos. Hey, that's what they like to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you're here. To serve the Most High. That's where strength is. That's where wisdom and length of days is. Keep going.
Who hath found her place, or who hath come into her treasures? Where are the princes of the heathen become, and such as rule the beasts upon the earth?
Read it one more time.
Come. Where are the princes?
Where you at?
Verse 16. Where are the princes of the heathen? Slack.
What chapter?
Oh, slack.
3
Chapter 3. Yes, sir. Verse 16.
Okay, go back up one more. That's what I meant.
Come. Baruch chapter 3, verse 15. Who hath found out her place?
Okay, there. That's what I mean. Okay. Who is she?
Slack, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Would she be like wisdom?
Okay. She is wisdom, right? This is what he's talking about. This is talking about. He always talks about her like like the baddest bride on the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like wisdom. Ain't nobody bad with it, right? You know what I mean? So who has found out her place? Like where is she? Where does she live at? I'm saying, girl, what side of town you stay on? What you said, verse 15?
Come.
Right. Who hath found out her place, or who hath come into her treasures? Like, who is so close with wisdom? Who is that tight with wisdom? The Yahushua guy, he snatched her off the market, man. He took her out. Who has come into her treasures? Yahushua. Yahushua took all of that. You understand? You know that you know. Keep going. 16.
Come. Where are the princes of the heathen become?
Say what?
Where are the princes of the heathen? Heathen become, and such as rule the beasts upon the earth.
Okay. Okay. Like that's just saying. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, wow, sir.
You know. Whatever happened to the princes of the earth? Like what became? You have people say, what became of so and so? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like saying, whatever happened to the princes of the earth that ruled the beasts of the earth? Okay, keep going.
They that had their pastime with the fowls of the air, and they that hoarded up silver and gold, wherein men trust, and made no end of their getting.
Right, whatever happened to these niggas, man? Where these carpets go, man? All they did was look for silver and gold. They destroyed the whole ozone layer trying to find all the gold and all the oil they could get their hands on. You understand? They made their pastime with the birds. Like they got these little gloves. Y'all ever seen them gloves they put on? And they can get like the big beast of prey on their arm, man. Like big falcons and eagles. Thor. You get your ass out of here with that. Nobody do that. But you. You do crazy stuff, Esau. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. But that's what this is talking about. Like, whatever happened to him? Like, that's what we're going to be saying. This is like, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be saying, like, whatever happened to, what's his name? You know what I'm saying? Ethan. You know what I'm saying? They used to have birds all in the house, just flying around the house. It's crazy. It was stupid. Made no end of his getting the gold and all of that. Where are they at? Go ahead.
They are vanished and gone down to the grave, and others are come up in their steads. young men have seen light and dwelt upon the earth, but the way of knowledge have they not known.
Right, okay, right. Young men have seen light and dwelt upon the earth. Like you've learned different things. You've seen certain things on the earth, you know what I'm saying? But the way of knowledge have they not known, man, meaning like these laws, statutes, and commandments, like this is real knowledge. Like you could see a ton of things. We was reading about that earlier, like of the making of books, there would be no end. Like you could be a foremost expert on a certain subject, but nigga, you don't know everything. You've seen something. I know everything about PlayStation, everything. I'm utmost expert on all things iPhone. I don't know. You got light, nigga. You're gonna see some things. You've been illuminated. Like, oh my goodness, I know what fiber optics is. Enjoy yourself. Knock yourself out. But the way of knowledge, like real knowledge, real wisdom, you don't know what that is. Nobody, you ain't got that. Keep going.
Nor understanding the past thereof, nor laid hold of it. Their children.
Okay. Why are we still here? Salaki.
I don't know. I think you wanted to get to verse 4. I mean, chapter 4.
Where do we start in this one?
Verse 9. Verse 9.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, you can drop that. There's probably some more up in here. Niggas can get that. I need to get to Esau one, the slave. That's what I'm trying to get to. So let me get our slavery out the way because I definitely want to push that. I got about 10 more minutes on this point, then I'm gonna get into Esau. So give me 4 and 1. I believe it's ready to go. Yeah.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the power and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it.
How does a pastor get around this? They that leave it shall die. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you leave that? Like, the laws of the Most High is your life. It's what you have. And I know some of them don't know that they're Israel. You know what I'm saying? Some of them think that the only way that they can get in is by, believing that Christ died for everybody, and that brings me in. It's not just them, Jewish people over there in Israel with the yarmulkes on. So I understand that. But my God, bro, like as long as we've been around, bro, we've been around since '69. That was after Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, wasn't it? Your so-called leaders just got murdered by the people that you want to love. Ain't it? But wasn't both of them dead by '69? Please. The hell? Who the hell else? Nigga, we've been here. We've been around. Anyway, we'll still be here. So yeah, I wish I was time. We'll be right here. But like you said, man, like these are the commandments of life. You know what I'm saying? This is how you're going to have wisdom. This is how you're going to have strength and all of those things, right? So this is the book of the commandments of the power and the law that endure forever. All that keep them shall come to life. If you keep the laws, the statutes, and commandments, you will come to life. What does that mean? It means you ain't got to worry about being shot in that gang battle that your cousin and your homeboy and your homegirl is in. You understand? Because you won't be around them. You'll be like Peter, like, nah, I don't do that. I don't chill with common people. I don't be with niggas while they getting high, this and that and third. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if I can't, I just happen to be there. I'm not worried about it then. But if I put myself in that position, you just hanging around like that. You know what I mean? It's like holding hands with somebody who has the flu. It's contagious. Right? Like you're gonna get what they get. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't do it. All right. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou may be illuminated.
That's the light of the eyes again, man. It's a different, you know what I mean? This is the real light of the eyes. This is the real Illuminati right here. You understand? You want to be illuminated? Come into the truth. Learn about the Most High and keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. That's being illuminated. That's being, you know what I mean? Like, Illuminati, nigga, forget that. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. O Israel, happy are we for things that are pleasing to the power are made known unto us.
Right. O Israel. Like, this isn't talking about everybody, like, just for argument's sake. If blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians were not the children of Israel, I would still see that this scripture is only talking to Israel. Oh, Israel, happy are we. Why?
For things that are pleasing to the power.
The way to make God happy, go ahead,
are made known unto us.
We know. Only Israel. Keep going.
Be of good cheer, my people. The memorial of Israel. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction.
Nigga, who else was sold to the nations? I'm not calling you. Calling you. Huh?
I said the Irish.
Give it a mic. Give it a mic. Somebody give it a mic.
One right there next to
There's a mic right there. Get the mic. It's right there. Yeah, thank you, sis.
Really?
There's the mic. What did you say?
The Irish.
The Irish were sold to the nations?
Yeah, that's what they said.
What nations?
They was in slavery too.
What nations? What nations was our people sold to?
All nations.
I need nations. Don't just say all nations. What nations?
Moabites, Ammonites.
You gotta put the mic up.
Moabites, Ammonites.
Okay, no, that's tribes. I want nations. What are they called now?
You want me to say like the white man, Africans?
Okay. Yeah, you said Moabites, Ammonites. Who's that?
The Chinese and Japanese?
Okay. We were sold to them. We are slaves over there. Niggas work over there right now. Niggas work in wherever right now. Not to mention whatever else. But you said Irish. Like, everyone has been a slave on the earth. And anybody that comes with that argument that they were servants or slaves, it's understandable. Everyone is. That's like being a slave is not a bad thing. What this is saying is that this people, when we just read it earlier in the other scripture where it said, how happened it, Israel, that this happened to you. Because if we would have just kept the laws of the Lord, we would have never known that. We always lived in peace. We would have never known oppression or never known slavery or being on the bottom. We would have never known anything about it. As for the other nations, of course they were. The big thing about us being so, this should have never happened. Should have never happened. And because of it, it was the worst for everyone's. Whoever you want to mention, Irish, Japanese, Chinese people, everybody, white people, everybody was slaves. They weren't tossed around for thousands and thousands of years like our people. All those people you mentioned, Chinese people have a country. They have a military. They have a government. What nigga spick government do you know? And they don't exist. Haiti got a black man. And they got a black man still. I know they just had somebody just got put out something. Yeah. They got to still have a black man. I don't think they have. Yeah. Mexico, Honduras, right? Are you sure they slaves? Or are they just Honduran?
Honduras?
Mm-hmm.
They're slaves.
They're under a dictatorship, and then El Salvador is actually under an Arab right now. I think that's from Pakistan.
Lord mercy. Okay, so what would you call Haiti? First thing come to mind when you think about Haiti?
Communism?
Communism? Yeah, I'm not talking about their government. I'm talking about like what you would call, like what is Haiti? Like, okay, if somebody was to go to war, where would Haiti be in this war? Okay, that's my point. This is crickets out here. My point is, we ain't got no military. We don't have no, they're a third world country. Nobody's scared of Haiti. Is there somebody scared of Honduras and El Salvador and damn Jamaica? You know, all them niggas is high and broke as shit. You understand? Excuse my language. That's how they, I'm telling you, we counted for the grade. You are fodder, nigga. Like, you, only thing that we would use you for is to put on the front line of any other army of a nation that's really a nation. Like, we aren't nations, and it's like this illusion. Like, niggas think that, like, oh, niggas, you're not doing nothing. Nothing. I don't know a nigga country. If y'all can name one, I'm saying I'll wait. We'll wait for the Iroquois and the who what? Ain't nobody doing nothing. Y'all got one? Y'all got a nigga? You know why? Because you're slaves. Read what you call it. You had something real quick? Come on.
No, I did. I just wanted to say like the Irish, they was sold into slavery, but they were sold to their own people. I mean, like they're all the same people. You know what I mean? Like we were sold to different. You know what I mean? Like outside of our nation, we were scattered. You know what I mean? We were slaves to other nations. They were just, servants to their own people. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know how that's better, but a servant is a servant. Like
Right.
A slave is a slave. But I'm looking at it like, okay, we wasn't supposed to be in that position. Like they're supposed to be slaves.
Right.
Like this is their natural use on earth. That's what they were created for. You don't want me to pull the scripture, do you? You know the scripture? It's Romans 9.
Okay,
It's in Genesis as well. Serve your brother. But anyway, here's the point. That's what it was made for. Nigga, you weren't. You got put in that position. Read verse 6 one more time.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction.
Not for your destruction. You were sold to the nations, not that you should never be on top ever again. Like we were on top. And the Lord sold us to these other people because of our disobedience, because of what we did and how we pissed him off. You understand? How we wanted to serve every other God but him. How we wanted to do everything else but except for what he liked. You understand? So you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but what?
Come. But because ye moved the power to wrath.
Yeah, because you pissed him off. Keep going.
Ye were delivered unto the enemies, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to the power. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of the power coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Sinai.
Man, listen, who is this she? This Jerusalem. I know it's Jerusalem. But who is Jerusalem?
Slack, sir. Mm-hmm. Would that be our home?
Yeah, it is. But who's representing Jerusalem? That's maybe a better way to say it. Yeah. True. But there were also prophets before Yahusha. There were always men that represented us, that loved it, that felt like how Commander GEN.YAHANNA feels about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. When we see what's going on with our people, like somebody speaks up and they like I'm representing like my people, I'm representing my home. You understand? Like I'm representing the whole thing. So like there have always been these men that the Lord sent, gave the, you know, his prophecies and all of this to, so that we could write it down and we could go back and we could look and we could be like, damn, we messed up. Like we really effed this up. Like Jerusalem is a country. Jerusalem can't speak, but I speak for Jerusalem. You understand? Like I'm speaking, these men that were before me, they spoke for Jerusalem, right? What's that scripture? Okay, just keep going. I get it.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 9. For when she saw the wrath of the power coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion. The power hath brought upon me great mournings. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent then away with weeping and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the power.
That's what every prophet is saying. That's what our job is to speak for the Most High, is to speak for the land that the Most High gave, is to speak for the children that come of us. You know what I'm saying? Like our job is to speak for them when they can't do it right for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna mourn, even though you're happy and high as you can be. We're gonna mourn and we're gonna cry and we're gonna sigh and we are going to holler and scream and fight and die, because you would rather celebrate Christmas than, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's the point, man. You know what I mean? There was a scripture I wanted to get. But anyway, it's fine. Let me get a couple on Esau real quick. Is that it on that? Did you get any more? Okay. Let me get a couple on Esau. Just because, you know, this can be a little, it's a little much to take, you know, but you do need to understand that this is all on us, man. Like, you know, we got to change our lives. You know what I'm saying? We've got to fight. We got to use this brotherhood, this sisterhood to fight whatever it is we're dealing with, whatever it is our weakness is that's pissing the Lord off at us. We're going to have to come together, man, and we're going to have to get it right. You understand? That's what coming to class is for. That's what it's for, man. That's what coming to high holy days is for, man. A lot of these high holy days, your oppressor has his own going on, and before you came to the truth, you would have been there. Like, I don't know if there's anyone for 4th of July, something around there. There's something around Christmas. You can be with your brothers and sisters, man, going against, you know what I mean, instead of being with them, you know, and getting the Lord back on our side, brother. So, what's the one I wanted? I wanted to get a couple about Esau going into slavery, right? If we ever get this thing right, here's some of the good news I just wanted to hit y'all with. Bear with it. Alrighty then. Give me let's start with Isaiah 14 and 2. Start at 1. All right, now this is what, if we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, if we ever get it together, you understand, the Lord has promises, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knows we, you know, eventually, you know, who knows when it'll be. I would rather it sooner than later, but who knows? This is what the Lord is telling us, man. This is like our good. This is what we live on. This is what we party to and drink and eat and, you know, dance to in I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? Very little dancing, but some people do it on their own. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got time. But this is what it's to right here. Go ahead and read that out.
Yes, sir. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob.
This is a beautiful thing, man. Read it again.
Come. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob.
Even though he couldn't stand you, you pissed him off, man. Even though he put you in the worst conditions ever, you were sold to all the nations. Your kids don't know who they are. They know, many whores and many pimps and many drug dealers and many, I don't know. Really, this is what they are. Your mama who bore you is a closet whore. Your father is a closet bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. Okay. Now, it's because we didn't know, it's because we gave up the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. But here's the good part. Read it one more time.
Yes, sir. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob.
The Lord is still going to have mercy. He's going to have compassion and towards niggas, man, towards wetbacks and spicks and towards savages and, you know what I'm saying, Indians. That's a horrible name, man. They call them Indians, man. Jeez. Read.
Yes, sir. And will yet choose Israel.
And will what?
Yet choose Israel.
And he's still going to choose you. Even though we did the worst things, pissed him off, drove him to wrath, he's still going to choose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Keep going.
Come. And set them in their own land.
And then we will get our own land, because that's something we don't have now. We don't have, we are in our enemy's land, as we read before. You understand? Like, how did it happen that you are in the land of your enemies? Well, the Lord said he's going to still choose Israel and put us in our own land. Keep going.
Come. And the strangers will be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
They shall do what?
Take them and bring them to their place.
Like everyone that's not Israel, Israel is going to take them and put them in their place. Go ahead.
Come. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High.
I thought slavery was wrong. I thought we speak about that on the street, and people they call us a hate group and a cult and all of that, and all I'm doing is telling you what God said. God said what?
And the house of Israel shall possess them, and in the land of the Most High.
The Lord is saying one people shall own all the rest of the people in the house of the Lord. In the kingdom of heaven, that's what's going down. It's going to be some ownership. There's going to be some possession going on up in there. Keep going.
Come. Slack. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids.
I mean, it's only righteousness. It's only justice. It's only fair. We just read that the Lord put us in captivity, not for our destruction, but that so we could learn. Well, we were slaves. There's nothing wrong. I mean, listen, what was wrong was how they did it. What was wrong was them hanging us and beating us and doing us like the way they did and taking away our identity and raping our mothers and our daughters. That's what was wrong with their slavery. Nigga, I'm not raping your daughter. But what? I need your mama to work. I ain't killing that bitch. You crazy? She's working all life, her whole life. I'm not killing her. What y'all did was wrong. I'm gonna make y'all, sir. I'm gonna make y'all keep Passover. I'm gonna have y'all righteous out here. You're gonna be eating right, drinking right. Are you crazy? Nothing wrong with slavery. The Lord said that the children of Israel will possess them for handmaids, for servants. What else?
God. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
Just fair. The children of Israel are going to take the ones that had them captives, the Spaniards, the Africans, the Chinese, Japanese, the Europeans, go down the list, the Arabs, you are going to take them captives, whose captives you were, wherever you were a slave. If you're Israel, you're going to take them captives. Keep going.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
That's right. You're going to rule over your oppressors. But here's the kicker, black people, Hispanic and Native Indian people. You can't rule without knowledge and wisdom. You can't rule without knowing the law, statutes, and commandments and understanding them. You understand? And living and dying by them. You can't rule a goddamn thing, man. You can't even rule your house. All you Christians, all of you, lovity love every goddamn thing, and it's stupid as hell. Your kids don't listen to you. Your wife is a whore. Your husband cheats and leaves and will never come back, and he brings you home all type of diseases or whatever. What the hell are you doing? Why not serve the Most High, man? Why not find where wisdom is, find where strength and unity is, find where stability and, you know what I mean? Find that. It's right here, contained in this book. Any more?
Come. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage.
And from what?
The hard bondage.
The Lord is going to give you rest from your fear. You know what I'm saying? From your stress and from this slavery that you got to go to every morning. I know y'all got to be there early tomorrow. You understand? The Lord is going to give you rest from that, man. But you got to change your life, man. And it has to be something real. The Lord is not fooled. You can't come in here and put fringes on your dress, or, you know, put fringes on the seams of your pants and put on all black and like the Lord is going to be fooled. It's not going to work. We've been going through this for thousands of years. You can try it if you want to. This is the home of the truth. It's not for that. It's not for no look. It's not for no brother, no husband. It's not for no wife. This is because we serve the Most High and we love our people. And if you're not that, I don't even know why you're wasting your time. If you love your people, then you would hurt for them. And you wouldn't do it for them. You would do whatever it is you need to do for them. It ain't even for me. It's for them. Any more?
Come. And from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how much hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased.
Okay, yeah. There's the other one, man. That's another how. That's like the how be it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like man, it's just, man, you see what happened to these niggas? But how in the world did this happen? How in the world, like, they know how it happened, but it's gonna be that, like, it's gonna be like, we know how did it happen? How did the oppressor cease?
Black Hispanic.
Yep.
And he's coming back to the laws of the Most High.
Damn right, brother. That's absolutely right, man. With that out in the class, man, we gonna get it back by changing our lives, man. And the other people, you ain't gotta go to war. You don't gotta have no military. You don't need no damn tanks. You serve the creator of the earth. Nigga, the day you decide to change your life and come back to serve the Most High, we gonna be like, dang, you know how wide these niggas ain't on top no more? That's what it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be no question. It's gonna be a rhetorical question. All right, with that, shalom, y'all. See y'all in the next one.